In the early 20th century, Port Angeles, Washington's timber industry needed power. So the nearby Elwha River was dammed in two places to generate electricity. But the dams blocked the passage of fish, and salmon virtually disappeared here. After nearly a century, and bolstered by changing environmental regulations, the local tribe and conservationists won a long battle to remove the dams, and by 2014, the river was able to flow freely again. The Elwha and its former reservoirs became a unique laboratory to study river behavior and the regeneration of species. One big question: would salmon, known for returning to their birthplace, venture into the newly available river habitat?
In the case of Chinook salmon, it was literally within days of the final blast. The first fish were observed upstream within a matter of days.
For the intrepid fish, what they found was not always ideal habitat. A century of dams and logging had degraded river conditions. Mike McHenry manages fish habitat for the lower Elwha Klamath tribe. He and his team are adding logs to tributaries to improve fish conditions.
And these structures have been really effective at slowing the river down. When you do that, you start to form habitat features that salmon need, like pools for rearing. Sure enough, the fish are utilizing the gravels to make their nests.
Though all Pacific salmon species have now made it above the former dam sites, the tribe is keeping its fishing moratorium in place for now.
We're early in the rebuilding still for a lot of species. So we've got metrics that we need to surpass before we start to fish.
Another concern before dam removal was the estimated 21 million cubic meters of sediment that had built up in the reservoirs over a century. Reservoir water was released gradually, but the finer silt clouded the river and caused some loss of fish in the first years. But over time, the river transported most of the sediment to its mouth, creating 120 acres of new estuary habitat.
All that landform that you see in front of us here used to be sediment contained in the reservoirs. What it has done is revitalized this coastal area in quite an amazing way and created a lot of new habitat and a lot of biological activity. You see all the gulls, there's shorebirds, there's seals that kind of come in here.
And where the reservoirs once were, restoration teams have started young forests growing.
Over 400,000 native woody trees were planted and thousands of pounds of native grass seeds. And we also got natural revegetation.
Wildlife is returning also.
Pretty much the entire suite of wildlife around here we are documenting using the former lake beds.
Kim Sager-Fratkin, the tribe's wildlife manager, is studying how the ecosystem, from tiny birds to massive trees, is healthier now.
When salmon pick up the carbon and nitrogen that is from a marine source in their tissues, and then these salmon swim back up their natal stream, all these animals will come in, eat salmon, distribute the nutrients into the forest, either by directly carrying them into the forest or going and defecating in the forest.
8 years into the Elwha River's recovery, there are many positive signs of nature's ability to renew itself. That is encouraging for the planned demolition of dams along the Klamath River in 2023. Matt Dibble for VOA News, Port Angeles, Washington.